Greetings, social media family, and welcome to the first installment of Q Talks. And before we get started, I would like to give a couple of acknowledgments. Man, I would like to thank my tribe for pushing me to do things like this and for pushing me to do things that are outside of myself. I wouldn't be the person I am without you all, and I hope that I make you proud in both word and in deed. Some of you all may be thinking, what's Q Talks? What is Quentin on here doing, right? Well, Q Talks is an extension of a blog that I started during my undergraduate years at Troy University. And so I wanted to take my written work and present it to you in video form in the need to hopefully inspire or push you to be better or just to have casual conversations about random topics that come through my crazy mind. And so I hope you enjoy the ride and join me in as I do these segments. Give me some feedback. Let a brother know what you're thinking. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I would love to talk with you. In essence, Q Talks is just a conversation between myself and all of you all. So let's jump right into it. Our first topic in Q Talks is called If You Can Hum, You Can Hear. Right? If you can hum, you can hear. So growing up in a distinctly black and in a distinctly southern household, I was always immersed in adages, right? Always immersed in adages. I never felt a day where I didn't hear an adage. I would hear stuff like sink or swim, or things like hush before I give you something to cry for, or things like get out of the way, your dad ain't a glass maker, or one of my favorites, you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar. While all these statements were true and were paramount in my growing up and really aided me in my adult life, none stood out more than that famous catchphrase, that famous adage, if you can hum, you can hear, right? We've all fallen victim, right, to passively listening to that voice inside of us, or passively listening to the spirit that God has given us, or passively listening to our parents when we were doing something wrong. And especially if it's something that we really don't want to hear or something that we think we already know. And anytime we're caught in that moment, we find ourselves giving a proverbial, huh? And if you had a parent like mine, she would always respond with, if you can hum, you can hear. Right? Because when she heard me go, huh, that would just ignite something in her. So I was reminded of that. If you can hum, you can hear. And as a sixth grade teacher, I find myself saying the same thing to my students. Hey, if you can hum, you can hear. Right? But what if I told you that we all experience these hums in our life? And that if we acted on these hums that we hear in our spirit, our lives would change. If we just acted on these hums. What if I told you that that goal you're trying to attain has already been pushed into your spirit and etched into your spirit if you quit saying hum? What if the relationship you want is there for you to take if you quit responding with that hum? You know he's the one, you know she's the one, but you constantly giving yourself a hum. What if that business opportunity that you're on the precipice of getting at is right there for you to touch? But every time you get up and get ready to make a move, you let the hum in your spirit pull you down and take you away from what it is that you've been called to do. That personal problem that you've been dealing with, all through quarantine that you've been dealing with, it could be eradicated if you quit responding to that problem with the hum and responding with some action. You may even grow in your spiritual relationships if you quit responding with hums and jumped into some action. If you can hum, man, you can hear. So stop being passive and get active and listening to what the spirit is telling you, and listen to what your gut is telling you, and listen to what the intuition is telling you, and quit responding with the hum. Because if you can really hum, you can really get what the universe is trying to tell you. So it's evident that you can hear. Right? This topic is madly important to me because I often find myself coasting on hums. I live my life in the hum moment sometimes. And then I find myself sitting in those hums and lamenting on what could be. So I had to make a conscientious decision to quit responding with huh and start hearing and start doing. And I hope you all enjoyed this small topic of you can huh, you can hear. Because Q Talks was birthed from a huh. And I hope you continue to log in and dialogue with me so that we can hear what each other has going on. Man, I pray that this has been something that you can use. I pray that the next time you find yourself hearing a huh in your spirit, or a huh on your job, or a huh in your relationship, you take some time to actively hear, because your next level is waiting on you to ignore that huh and get yourself to moving. Thank you for tuning in into this first segment of Q Talks, man, and come back and talk with me.